Okay, here we go. Studio tour, part 2, segment 1.
Yeah, we'll snap that last little piece of foam into place. There we go. So when that's in place, and this wire isn't in here, then I can put this in, and the foam lines right up and helps to create a seal. So the isolation is pretty good. It actually sounds like this amp. If I turn that mic on and play through that amp, or I turn this mic on and play through that amp, it actually sounds like the amp is all the way across a large room. So it's pretty good isolation. And I personally like to bleed guitar sounds together. So having a little bleed isn't such a bad thing. And this is how the air gets out. Another baffle chamber, similar to this air inlet over here. Everything in the baffle chambers, the thickness of the walls. The walls are, I think, about 6 or 7 inches apart. The inner wall and the outer wall is full of Roxel, just like the downstairs room is. It's 2 walls with Roxel inside, double 1/2 inch on either side. That's how the air gets out. It's a baffle chamber leading down to this little sealed off thing, and I just turn the fan on and it'll start pulling air through. And it pulls air through those unfinished inlets and outlets up there. Oh well, they're ugly for now. Hammond came with a Leslie. That's a Leslie 120, 122. Yeah, 122. Sounds spectaculicious. Back to the fisheye. So I built this because the room downstairs is small. It's good for isolation, but it's only good if you're putting a couple things down there. The drums, you can have the drums down there, but there's no way to have a guitar amp or something down there without way too much bleed. A little bit of bleed between guitar amps is fine, but bleed into the drums from the guitars, a little bit is acceptable, but it would have been way too much. So I built that to serve multiple purposes back during all the shutdown times. And one last thing that I built, just here we go again. Okay, so we're back at the fisheye again. Well, you can see a little better. It's another rack I built. You can look inside here. This is for isolating a third amplifier or whatever we might want to isolate. In this case, for this recording, we've got the bass in there. Got the E609 on that. Oh no, that's an E906 actually. So you got your connections in there. Not sure if we can see that. It's pretty dark, but 2 XLR connections in case I wanted to make 2 microphone connections in here. Not a lot of room with that amp in there particularly, but if I had a smaller amp cabinet or something, I could get 2 mics in there. Power's right inside, so don't have to worry too much about it's plenty of sound escapes. It's not perfect. It's 3/4 inch. It's 3/4 inch plywood. It's full of foam, but you still get some bleed. Yeah, got to get that thing out of there. It's not bad, but the transformer, I think, is causing interference in the mic pre. A couple other things here. Got my turntables up there. This spot really is for my controller. That spot's for a laptop to sit. For when I set up my controller and I want to do DJ type stuff over here. Records and stuff. Old Philadelphia upright piano. It's made by the Lester Piano Company. I think this piano is from 1908. Can't say exactly. Definitely speaks to you. For a tuning. So currently there's a little bit of mess going on. A few other devices over there, hardware reverb, a couple other compressors. Like I said, the amp isolations in there. Little patch panel for the DI rack there. Love that DI rack. Pretty cool. Still making some cables. I've got a couple I got to repair over here, so my table's a little out of whack for now, but we're getting close. I got one to repair and probably a few more to make before I hang up the soldering iron for a little while again. I guess I didn't take any video of the monitoring system. Tracking, I use my Yorkville YSM ones. They're pretty old actually, but they sound, I like them. They sound nice. Got some Atom AX7s. You know, I can switch between them for mixing and mastering. I'm not exactly a mastering engineer, although I could do masters and have done some masters for people. But I could mix or master on either one of those. I mean, they're both spectacular monitors, although the Yorkvilles are passive, so I'm going to use this amp over here. It's a servo controlled amp. Servo controlled? It's been so many years since I bought it. You know, a little switch to switch between. Got this little microphone just tied in here as a talkback in a way while we're recording, because I don't have a monitor controller yet with a talkback, but that's one of my next things to add to the list of goodies. Got a sub down there. I like having a sub. Made those monitor stands out of spare parts. Well, I bought the PVC, but the wood was all spare parts. Actually, a lot of these racks on this entire desk was built out of things I had laying around. Some of the stuff I bought, like the wood for this sliding drawer here, that I didn't just have hanging around, but I had a lot of these things. Like my old roommate left behind a table, and I took it apart and turned it into the top of that. It's kind of like Franken desk, you know. Yeah, drives and tools and masks to ward off wicked spirits. You know, decorative kalimbas. Place to hang your geet fiddle. That's my own personal bass. You know, one of many guitars. I guess I didn't really talk about guitar storage. Bass player's Legator. That's the bassist in my band, Dos Exodus. Got a little rack of fiddles over here. Old trainer amp. Love that thing, 100-watt tube amp. Still needs a little bit of work, but it's pretty killer. It's not exactly portable though, but pretty killer piece of gear. Besides the quote-unquote mic locker and wire hangers, up top here we got storage, various things, guitar storage. That's an alto sax in that box over there. This thing right here is supposed to be a pedal steel seat, but it's missing the cushion. So now it's just an empty case for now. Now, it's for now, okay? I think I forgot to mention the Behringer power play. That's how we do the headphones here. And a couple different interfaces, a Liquid 56 and two M-Audio Profire 2626s going into the Liquid 56 via ADAC cables, Toslink cables, whatever you want to call them. So down here, we got a little panel, a couple of Cat 5 connections for headphones, 4 1/4-inch connections. All the connections from the back room come out through here. These 4 come from those connections under the pedal steel. And let's see, these 2 go back to the isolation room. Those 6 to go downstairs. That's just a 1/4-inch mult over there. And those 2 Cat 5s are the 2 that are under the pedal steel. These 2 Cat 5 connections come from the isolation booth. These first 4 down here go to the isolation booth. These 2 right here go to the other cabinet across the way there. They're in there. And thus concludes Studio Tour, Spare Closet Records.